Okay, it's time for another episode of the 2025 Nickel Box Hunts, starring, of course, Jefferson Nichols, and hopefully, as guest stars, Buffalo Nichols. Also, once in a while, Proofs. And from time to time, V Nichols. And well, that would be pie in the sky, but Shield Nichols. And of course, we cannot leave out the lovely 1986 Canadian nickel, which I seemingly get in every nickel box hunt. Let's go, folks, and get some more. Hey there, it's Silver Chupacabra, and we're ready to go on some nickel hunting again. Our nickel hunting for this year has been kind of hit and miss, so I'm expecting a little hitting this time. Last one, I think we had a 51S semi-key date happen, which is always cool to get semi-key dates, but nothing really else happened, although we did get plenty of finds. Well, you've seen this one before, and you see we're still in the same situation. We need that one to fill that hole, and we need that one to fill that hole. Continual upgrades, of course, are not only wanted, but expected. And of course, different series like Buffalo Nichols, V Nichols, are always welcome. Proof Nichols, if we can find them, perfect. Varieties. That's one thing we don't seem to ever find with these nickels are varieties. Find an error or two, but not varieties. There have been a couple of mint mark the ones in the last couple of hunts. But anyway, should we get a shield nickel? I may have said this in the last nickel box hunt, but hey, somebody said they found a shield nickel in a nickel box, so hey, that maybe this can be something that can be found. The only way we're going to actually know whether this can be found, at least in this one, is to go on this one. This is actually a newer box. It's only about a month old. Usually I get these about 3 or 4 months old. So we're ready to go. Hopefully we've got some goodies coming up here. Let's go ahead and take a look what's up on top. Okay, so here we are. I did not see anything that really stuck out when I looked through it. Kind of the same things you've seen before. You got some newbies popping up here, and you got some of the older looking ones. This one actually has a D mint mark, so it could be the 1950D, although in that condition, I'm highly doubting it. Some other older looking Monticellos, older portrait there, but I'm also seeing a lot of new in here as well. It is what it is. It's always the inside that's going to make the box anyway, so let's go ahead and see if I can shove my hand in there. See what we got here. We got one of the younger portraits, the one I cannot stand. Hey, look, another one I cannot stand. Oh, and one thing I have not mentioned, but definitely 2024 nickels, still on the look for those. We know they're rare to come by nowadays. Even here in the Denver metro area, I'm having a hard time finding it. I think I've got up to 10 at this point. I don't really think they're going to become anything, but not in my lifetime at least. But, they are what they are. It's just crazy what they're selling for. It's ridiculous. Anyway, if you got an audience and they're willing to pay, that's the way it is. Let's get it going. Look at that. Hey, we are actually on roll one. Just laid it out. Not sure why I was going over there. Got one here near the end. It looks like 58. Well, we got rid of one of the older 50s pretty quick. That's good. I do not have much respect for these, but they're still cool finds. I'd like to see them in better shape. You know, that D is not surprising. Okay, under roll 2, and we've got our second find and our second late 50s coin, 1957. And we'll probably have a D on the back too. And yes, it does. Oh, look, isn't that nice? There's some candy on the bottom too. Still have just a little bit left. Okay, we are actually at roll 7 now. We've got our third find here. I would say so far I have not been too, what's the word I can put on it? I'm not too uplifted. That's not a really good way of putting it either. I'm not too stoked how this box is going so far. It seems like a lot of newer coins. And I'm not even talking about, hey, we're getting all 23s. It seems to be a kind of bridging between the 80s and the 20s. But anyway, let's get off that whining. And we've got a find here, 55. Well, that the 1955 Philly would be a semi-key date. That would be a nice find. I would say it's one of the harder semi-key dates to find for Jefferson. Well, will we get it or will we not? Yeah, a little bit of scratches above Monticello there. And it will be Denver. Cool. Third find. All really in the high 50s. Might have some other ones coming up here. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, we are on roll 11. And we got our fourth find. The beginning of the row, we still have a bunch to check through, but we do have a 1940. So we got our first one from the 40s, and this will be the oldest one so far. Decent shape, I would say. You know, it's got the wear that most 40s would have. What are you thinking here? I'm going to think Philly, but Denver might happen. Philly it is. See how I did that with my thumb? I could just kind of run it up there. Oof. Such talent. Where do we look? Okay, we're on to roll 16. This box is definitely being tough right now. Hopefully it's going to break open pretty soon. You have a find here. Yeah, if I can find it ever again. There it is. It's looking a little newer than 54, but there it is. Another kind of a older 1950s here. That's all right. As I say, usually around here, these are D. But we'll see. D it is, Denver. Cool, fifth find. Hopefully that'll get us going. We still have the whole roll to check out. Okay, we are on that third row of 10 rolls. Roll 22 to be exact. It's been laid out. Let's see here. I knew I had something somewhere. Not that one. That does look old, by the way. All right, sure. We can see the last two numbers in the date. And that 1941. It would be the second oldest, or the second from the 40s, too. Let's see, most of the 41s. PD and S are pretty common. So we got this San Francisco. I tend to get a lot of San Franciscos when it comes to 40 and 41. It's an interesting prospect. Man, I tell you, that S looks like it's a little high. Looks pretty clean, too. I've always found it interesting that the mint marks for these nickels on the back there, that mint mark just gets bashed in a lot. The 64D, and that D just gets waylaid on. It's hard to look for that RPM when it's all bashed in. Anyway, 41S, cool. Still on roll 22, first half of this row, and we actually have another find. Very cool, 49. And these are always a good chance to get a semi-key date, especially one that's in semi-decent condition there detail-wise. It definitely has a lot of rim. Let's just say the rim's been beat up a little bit. But I think it has a good chance. Let's go ahead and check her out. Not a ton of detail there with Monticello. D. I'm going to go with a D. And you're wrong! Am I wrong? No, it's hard to tell. Let me check that out a little closer. No, I am wrong. Cool. That is a semi-key date. 1949 San Francisco. Love it. 48 S's and 49 S's I tend to get a lot of, so I don't get massively woohoo for these things. But seeing as this box has been generally tough, this is a beautiful find. So for the way the rim's been treated on it. Cool, 49S semi-key date. Never a bad thing. Looks like we're on a roll 25, halfway through this nickel box hunt that's been mighty slow. We do have the eighth find, though, so that's a good thing. Or at least, I know we have a find. I'm not sure if it's a repeat or not. We know it's in the 50s just by looking at that. You've got a 5 there. Let's see what that fourth digit is. 1953. Cool. We, I believe, have a 53. No, 54. So we've had a 54. Have not had a 53 yet. There are no semi-key or key dates for this. And we get a mint mark. We cannot. We're going to make a quick check because since this is Philly, we'll look for a Henning notch. You don't see anything up there. And of course, as usual, we'll go ahead and weigh those at the end of the hunt. Still many things to look at here. Okay, we are on roll 30. Just doesn't seem to want to move on this nickel box. We do have our ninth find. I think it is 9. Let me count her. Yep, 9. It's not hard to count when we only have 9. Here is a 1951 with a big old bang on the rim. This one actually looks old. Question is there a chance this could be a 51S? We actually had a 51S on the last nickel box hunt. And why would that be something? Because that would be a semi-key date. We've had a 49S so far. No. 51 Philadelphia. Interesting toning. There we go on that. Still have a bit left to look at. Okay, on to roll 31. We're on to that fourth row of 10 rolls. Just spread it out. And I was kind of going through here with my magnifying glass, and I noted this one. So you can see it's got a D on the back, so obviously it's either 1964 or older. But just take a look at the, toning. You can take a look at the toning. And then number two, just look at what condition this is in. This reverse looks magnificent. That looks pretty much well uncirculated. Interesting toning, by the way. It is like, this could be a 64 for all I know. Probably is. But even if it's a 64, man, she's nice. Let's see what we got. It's going to be in the 50s. If this is a 50D, man, I'm going to explode. It's too bad. And then the thing is, I wasn't even expecting 50s. I was expecting 64. But that is in such beautiful condition. It doesn't look like anybody's even touched it. Sorry, my fingers throwing shadows here. I'm trying not to touch the surface too much. Just kind of looking at the back of you, I just wanted to see. Yeah, I would say that pretty much all has stairs. Let's see if we can get a little closer here. I mean, there might be some interruptions there, but I think the stairs are there. Wow. Hopefully an upgrader. I can't remember what shape my 50. I'm sure it's a good 58, but man, I don't know if it's as good as this. Nice. Here we are in roll 34. We're going to get our 11th find. And I believe we've already had one of these pop up. 1955. We are, of course, harping. Jiminy Christmas. We are hoping this is going to be Philadelphia, but I'm going to say no already. This is pretty darn warm for 55. Any 55, even a D. There are only 2 mints making coins at this time in the U.S., Philly, and Denver, and I'm thinking this is going to be D for Denver. Here it is. The semi-key and key dates are always, not all, let's just not say always. I would say the coins are going to be in better condition. I'm just saying it. They just are. Former collections, just, I don't know. I don't know how they get into circulation, but they do. Philippines, that's the second one we've got. And that was the end of this roll. Yeah, roll 35 of this nickel box hunt. I'm not sure if we have find number 12 yet, but down here in the earlier parts here, you can kind of see it right here. This one's got definitely that oldness shade to it. You do have a D there. So it could be just a 64 for all I know. Let's go ahead and pull it. Yeah, I'm going to doubt highly this is a 64. It's definitely got the pallor of a freaking old coin. And I mean frickin'. Let's see what we're doing here. OC says he likes the coin. It's in the 40s. Go. We haven't had too many so far. 49. So, if I remember right, we had a 49. I know we had a semi-key date. I can't remember if it was 48 or 49 earlier. I believe it is 49, so that means we need the Philadelphia version of 49 for the mid-cycle. Always cool. And you still have the whole roll to check through. Hopefully we'll be back to check out coin we found. Roll 39 brings us our 13th nickel find. Kind of hiding in there. I gotta say, as we pull this coin out, man, this box hunt reminds me a lot of the second one of this year that I just completely, I don't usually get really kind of, I don't know, annoyed, pissed off. Bad nickel box hunts happen all the time. When you got 70s and 80s coins, which, yes, they're 40 and 50 years old, but they're coming out and they're just looking like 40s and 50s. I've had countless 70s and 80s coins looking like they're, 100 years old. Just a weird box, really is. I'm surprised I've actually gotten this many finds. This is 13. He's got a little bit of gum candy. I have no idea what that is on it. We did get a San Francisco 41 earlier. Do we have another one, or do we have something different? I would say that is different. D. So we just need the Philly for the mint cycle for 41 on this one. Back looks a little bit better. Of course, nothing's ever going to look good with the gunk on there. They're right here. I mean, look at this clown shoes nonsense. 1990. Thing looks like it's been out there for 100 years. Just weird. Okay, 8 rolls left. This is roll 42. About midway, closer to the end, to be honest. We did have that one pop up. Finally found 59. So one of those later 50s that we seem to, or tend to always get in these box hunts. Oh, wow, it's actually going to be Philly. Nice. Don't get too many of those. Always getting D's, Denver's. So that's fine 14. Still a little bit left to check out. Roll 43 is up to bat. Just laid it out. Began checking through. Get ourselves 1953. I believe we've had one so far. I cannot quite remember what if we had a mint mark on that. In actuality, the early 50s Jefferson nickels were actually just lower mintage than what were in the 40s. So getting a Philly is a nice one too. It's going to be a Philly. 53 has a chance of being a Henning, so we will pop it up here. I do not see the notch on the R. Of course, we will weigh it later and check the weight out. But cool, that is fine 14. Or is it 15? I can't remember. It's one of those two. Catching up, which to me is just amazing because this is in such a dead box. I mean, just weirdly laid out. I don't know. But it's actually turned, quantity-wise, at least it's turned out well. Still got plenty to check out in this roll. Okay, we have Batman staring at the last roll. We are actually on the second to last roll. 49. And take a look at what we got in back here. And no, that is not a Canadian. It is foreign, but not Canadian for once. Seen these a few times before. I cannot remember if it's Swiss or not. I know it's one of the northern European countries, but it's a Rappin, a 20 Rappin. And you'll see that on the back here in a little bit. That's in pretty darn good condition. 1981, too. As you can see, it's got Libertas on front there. Like I said, nice detail on it. And this is what the back looks like if you flip it the wrong way. Very cool. It's too bad about that little, I don't know, what is that going on with the zero? Anyway, it might be my third or fourth one that I've actually found. I'm going to take this as a side-by-side. Yep. Very cool. Like I said before. I think I said that many times already. Well, I still have a bit to look for. We're still lagging behind here. We're still not getting a whole lot of quality. But we march on. Batman's got his back turned to me. He's not too happy about this box. It's an alright box there, Batman. Take it easy. Chill out. Anyway. It is summary time because we are done, folks. Let's go ahead and take a look at the finds in this box. 1940 Philly. We got a 41D and a 41S. We have a 49D. We do have another 49. I'll show that in a little bit. 1951 Philly. Got a couple 53s playing. We will weigh those. 54D, a couple 57Ds. Oh, sorry, 55D. That was 54D. This is a 57D, a couple of 58Ds. That one on top is really nice. And then a 59 Philly. Don't get those too often. There are a couple of flashy coins up here. I'll be checking on. Really, the big find is the 49 here. It does, excuse me, it does have an estimate mark that makes it a semi-key date. And we got that wrapping at the very end. Wrapping, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll put the where it's from in the. I've already done that actually. I've already shown. I think it's Switzerland, but anyway, I don't even know what 20 Roppins would even get you. Neck smokes, who knows? I will check for varieties. I don't think there's really too much to look for out of the 15 finds. And collection books, well, I think we're kind of SOL on that, but we'll still check them. Okay, so I have checked through all the nickels and nothing to show. And there's really nothing to show collection-wise. The fourth book that I'm trying to get filled is a good place for that 49S, and that's where it will go. I would say that I did exchange that 58D that I found into the primary. I think it was just a touch better than the one I had. That one will go down to one of the other collection books. Anyway, here's that nice wrapping. I doubt if it's wrapping. Sounds too Americanized there. Anyway, that is it. We're going to go on to the next hunt. Get back on the pennies and cents. They've been very good to me this year so far. I hope everybody has a great weekend, whenever you're seeing this, whenever it gets out. I'm almost caught up with all the long form videos. Maybe by the end of the next week, right at the start of March, we'll see if I get there or not. Have a, like I said, great day. Be safe out there, folks. Cheers to everyone.